Hello, how's it going? Um, how are we all? I don't know if anybody has come from watching Buffy. Hello there. How you doing? Hi, we just watched the. Oh, hang on 2 seconds. I'm hearing myself. There we go. We just watched the 11th episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer season 3, which means we are now at the halfway point for the season, which is crazy. We're getting really close, or if not, have already passed the halfway point through the actual entire season, and it's kind of nuts to think that we're already here after God, I don't know when we first started. Now, originally our plan for this evening was to do a live stream, and I'd organized a quiz for Maya, and I hadn't heard from her all day long until about lunchtime. I gave her a call, and she answered the phone, and she's just like, oh, I'm dying. So she's like, oh, I think I've got the flu. So she has been given the night off to rest up and try and feel a little bit better. Hi there. Hi, Swordmaster Kane. How you doing? By now, we've already seen you react to episode 12. Oh, yeah, over on Patreon. Yeah, yeah. Hi, Annette. Hi, Roger. Hi, Spiders. Hi, Gustavo. Yeah, Maya and I have watched up to season episode 13, and then we've got everything left. Season episode 13 was a really fun one with everything that happened with Xander in that one. Him being the star of the episode and it not sucking, and him actually coming across as a really good guy, and it was that really looking forward to next week's episode. That was such a cool one. And then we've got what have we got? We've got a bunch of Sherlock videos to come out, and then we've got Sleepy Hollows, the next movie that's coming out, and then it'll be Maya's pick and my pick for Halloween. Yeah, I'm sure she will. She just needs a couple of days off, I think. Unfortunately for her, she got sick when she wasn't at home. She was visiting her mom at the time. Well, not unfortunately, because it means her mom gets looked after for a little bit. Yeah, the Zeppo. That's an amazing episode. I'd forgotten how good that episode was. I'd also forgotten much of what actually happened in that episode. As it's just you, let me ask, which is your favorite Buffy favorite season? Probably. Season 3 is amazing. Season 4 is probably the best, I think. There's lots that happens. I can't do too many spoilers, or really any spoilers, just because Maya will probably at some point watch this back, or may even be watching whilst hiding under the covers. So for a show of 7 seasons of equal length, halfway through season 4 would have the halfway through, but since season 1 was shorter, halfway through is 4:16. Okay, cool. Well, I'll need to make sure that we keep that in mind for when we go ahead. We're really looking forward to doing Angel. Can't wait to start watching that show. I love that show. A friend of mine just recently, I was telling them that we're going to be starting Angel within the about 10 weeks or so, and she was like, oh god, I never watched that show, it looked terrible. And I'm like, you're missing out on such good content. That's horrible. Good show. It's a great show. It's a long wait for Maya, but I think season 5 is top of the pile. I love the first 3 seasons, and then season 5. Season 4 kind of sucks. There's a character whose name I can't mention, who appears maybe she's in season 2. I didn't say she. That person. I don't want to give away spoilers for me. There's a person who comes back who is great. I love that show. Doing Angel isn't that Buffy's responsibility. You would think it is, but bad things happen when she does Angel. We are, but for the sake of the channel, we're probably gonna I don't know how we're gonna manage everything because the YouTube is already flooded with plenty of Buffy, and we want to get more movies out on the channel as well. So we're not 100% sure what we're going to be doing with Angel. And also, if Maya watches the first episode and is like, "This is trash, I don't want to watch the rest," then that's sort of the rule. We won't be continuing. But I'm sure we will because, my God, it's a great season. Actually, I started watching Angel before Buffy because I was lucky enough to see the show premiere on free TV here while Buffy had already been on for quite some time. Yeah, that would be wild starting with Buffy first. Good lords. Yeah, that's nuts. I think yeah, I've been really enjoying this season, and it's been really fun seeing May respond to it so well. I mean, obviously her love for Giles is ever increasing, as you'll see if anyone's seen the next episode over on Patreon or for members. It's surprising what Maya will let Giles get away with, and not think ill of him. I cannot see her not liking Angel. Yeah, it would be bizarre if she hated that show. But I've been rewatching the kind of later seasons of Angel, and I forgot how much seeing him in Buffy is it's a stark difference between how much of a character he is in his own show. Obviously, he's going to be expanded there, but it is it's funny coming back and seeing Angel being a little dribbling mess over Buffy. Show's premise was interesting enough: a brooding vampire fighting bad guys in the big city. Yeah, the growth of the characters, especially the ones from the there's a character in the first season of Angel whose growth is just it's wild, but it's always been kind of you can see that they were heading that way. It's hard to talk about that. It's a character that doesn't make it. Oh no, I can't even say. I can't say anything. Doesn't matter. I think you and Maya would like Warehouse 13. What is Warehouse 13? Because I've seen that pop up a few times. She affords Giles the grace and love she affords her dad. She probably affords him more. There are certain seasons of Angel that it's pretty easy to understand not liking. Yeah, for me that's season 4. But there's so much to look forward to in Buffy, and I might just message Maya and tell her she can't. Let's just, hey, you can't watch this stream. This gives us a little bit more leeway. We are doing spoilers. Alright, Maya has been warned. She can't watch this stream. I would wait for confirmation, but she'll get that before she sees it anyways. So, the wild ride that... Hang on, wait. You need to be gone, Maya. If you're watching this, you have to stop watching because I'm going to go into real big spoilers. Okay. The ride that Cordelia goes on as a character, especially having watched Angel and seen where she goes, and then coming back to this, watching it with Maya, was so insane. Seeing it's kind of obvious. I mean, even though she's a bit of a brat and kind of a little bit of a snarky bully, you can always see the through line of her being this just pure character who's always destined to just grow and grow under the right circumstances, and I love that. Can't do Warehouse 13 without doing Town Called Eureka. Warehouse 13, a secret group that goes around collecting artifacts that have magic effects from history. Okay, cool, interesting. Shame it had already been done by Forever Night. That sounds like, hasn't everything been done by everybody else? I didn't start liking Angel until he gets his own show. Yeah, that's the same for me. There were tiny glimpses of the character of Angel from the TV show in Buffy, little moments where he's kind of silly or snarky, but he becomes a really, really solid character. And then as we move into the end of this season, I didn't realize how much the Buffy episodes don't include. We're halfway through the season and we don't really have a grip on what the mayor is up to. And I kind of, whenever I think back on the seasons, I always think of the big bad showing up far sooner. Yeah, so I can't wait for her to see everything to do with the mayor, especially with what happens with Faith, because she's only just recently come around to quite liking Faith and thinking that Faith should actually move in with Summer's girls. And was that next episode? So we're up to episode 13. I wonder, is the next episode that shit hits the fan with her? And let's go. Buffy. Season 3 episodes. This might be handy to keep up while we're going into sick ass spoilers. Ooh, yes it is. Yowzers. Ooh, there's so many amazing things coming up. We've got the introduction of Wesley. We've got Stabby. I could have just read comments. I agree with you that you can see Cordy would always grow at some point, but no one expected the change in Wesley. Yeah, Wesley he's amazing. Oh, and I can't wait for Maya to meet Fred. I just recently watched that double bill, 2-part episodes where we meet Fred for the first time. Handsome man, save me from the monsters. The mayor was hinted back in season 2, but yeah, the show only dedicates a handful of episodes to the most of its big bads. Yeah, I feel like as the season goes along, especially in season 5, there was a much more drawn out, feel like there was more episodes to do with that particular big bad. Oh, and also because Maya's not here. Who here likes oh my god, Dawn. Got her name for a second. Who likes Dawn? Fred is in Angel from end of season 2 onwards, or end of season, I can't remember when Fred joins, but in the end of season 5, towards the end, she dies and becomes Aaliyah. I'm hoping that she cries a lot at Fred's death. I know it's terrible, but like, I'm hoping Fred's death really gets her. Yeah, poor the actress who played Dawn. I love the character Dawn. I have no idea why. I feel like she fits so well. I think she's a complete little brat, and yeah, I thought that was a fun addition. Do you know who I hate though? Who I hate beyond words? Who I don't know how I'm gonna grip my teeth and pull my hair out through watching? Riley. Riley is the saddest, most pathetic creature on earth. And every time he whimpers and moans about Buffy, it's gonna be torture going through Riley again. Fuck. I tolerate Dawn in life and on the show. That's good. That's good. I'm glad that you do that, Roger. I prefer sunsets and don't have to get up early that way. I get up early regardless. I was up at 6 this morning. Oof. There's a particular Buffy season 7 episode where most of the inner circle don't come off looking great, but that aside, Dawn is cool. Yeah, I like Dawn. Riley, no, we do not like Riley. I'm gonna say nothing. I'm gonna let's just see what Maya thinks. I'm just gonna be real quiet, and I'm like, sometimes I can give away my thoughts and feelings regarding characters with Maya. The second that she's like, I don't think I like that guy, but oh, that sucks. Oh, and it really annoyed me that she runs off after him when he's all like, he's such a loser, getting sucked on by vampires, and then giving her an ultimatum, and then Xander's all like, well, you love him really. She's just scared of being alone, and she runs after him. I hate that. One of the best parts of season 7 is one of the bad guys towards the end. You know which I mean. One of the... Oh, yeah. I know exactly which one you mean. He's, Captain Tight Pants. Connor. Ugh. Connor, the idea of Connor could have been good. I think the execution of it was poor. I like him in the end of season 5 where he isn't, you know, a traumatized little freak and actually gets to hang out with Angel. Eat rye bread while stewing on your hatred. I mean, yeah. Him. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Xander's great speech to Buffy. Yeah, something. Yeah. He put it in her head, and then he goes, "Wait, had he already sacked off? What's her face? Anya at that point. I don't know. He hadn't sacked off Anya at that point. Considering he's a squatty, Riley is such a wet blanket, makes Dribble Boy seem positive. See, I'm wondering what creative nickname she'll give him. I'm really looking forward to it. And also seeing what she thinks of Dawn. And, yeah. I know that when Giles leaves, she's going to be heartbroken when he leaves the show. Last couple of seasons of Angel were messed up with behind the scenes stuff. I think they recovered by the end, but it was unplanned. Yeah, I think they knew that they wanted to carry Spike over, but they didn't have the money for it, so they got rid of Cordelia, because they were kind of like, well, we could get rid of her. I think there was friction between her and the showrunner, Joss. Not 100% sure, but is anyone interested or excited in seeing anything about the reboot show? I was excited and interested until I learned that Buffy is kind of like a side character to it, which means that the show can't really be called Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It'll be interesting to see what they do with it and how they ruin it, because a lot of what Buffy touches on is, social stuff from the 90s, but it really doesn't, apart from a few episodes, it really doesn't hit you over the head with it, and it doesn't, so I'm really hoping that they aren't gonna do that. I think we've learned enough in the last few years that people really don't like being beaten over the head. It could be good, potentially. I mean, it narratively carries on, Buffy's older now, there's all the potentials are all Slayers now, and a new one moves to Sunnydale. She comes back to Sunnydale to sort of be that one's watcher, if that's the vibe. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm worried about the reboot being done by a committee. Yeah, there's a lot of just people being like, trying to be nice and making everything kind of suck. Yeah, she's gone once. She was gone. Oh, that was it. She was pregnant at the time. Yes, I remember that. Yeah. Well, I would give this new show a chance. At least Sarah. Yeah, she's involved, and I like that kid from Star Wars Skeleton Crew. I thought she was cool. They may well do cover a bunch of different Slayers. Hopefully, it will be as good as Ash versus the Evil Dead. See, I really want to show Maya Evil Dead stuff, but I didn't really connect with the first Evil Dead, and only connected with the second Evil Dead after watching Army of Darkness, which is the kind of first thing I watched on it. And then that TV show is so good, but she needs to be introduced to Ash. Definitely. Yeah, I need to get to it at some point. Is any of it based on the comics? I don't think so, because the comics got really fucking weird. Like, at some point in the comics, Spike gets a spaceship. What the hell? I read that the other day. I was like, just kind of have a glance at the stories and see where everything went. At some point, Buffy goes gay. Spike has a spaceship. Something happens with Xander and... It's not Xander. There's it's pretty fruity. It's messed up stuff. The original Evil Dead is one of a kind, and you have to watch it. I think Maya's done stuff about filmmaking, and I think she has an interest in filmmaking, and I think seeing something made by, that group of people so young, just making shit happen, I think would be really fun to watch with her, and then subsequently we can go into the rest. I don't know whether you could just skip the first Evil Dead, because the second is such a rehash, better budget, tonal adjustment. See, this is what I was thinking. Skipping. There is one person in my life who I would go to for that advice, and if they're in the chat, they could tell me whether it was okay for us to skip the first one. Buffy doesn't go gay. She has a one-time experience. I know very little about the comics, bar the fact that she was apparently with a girl. I didn't really read too much about it. The thing that caught my eye the most was Spike having a spaceship, which I then learned that he was potentially going to show up. I think James Marsden talked about it in a interview, that there was had Firefly continued, that he could have been seen sitting at a bar in one of the bars in one of the planets that they go to in Firefly. And haven't seen any evidence that the new show has anyone that can replace Whedon. Yeah, I don't know. What's the name of the showrunner? I've forgotten her name. Actually did. Thingy Buffy reboot showrunner. Unless anyone else gets there first. Okay, I don't know who that is. Mark Breen? Doesn't seem like it was that. Oh, I spelled something wrong. I can't find it. Never mind. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. If I read... Oh, the second Evil Dead, first 15 minutes covers the first one. Can always go back with it. Thank you. Thank you for approving. Oh. Babylon 5. Crikey. It's funny, like, so many times in the comments or live streams or just general, like, you know, on the Discord and stuff, people will mention stuff, and I want it to do everything now, always. And so anytime anything really fun is mentioned, I'm immediately like, oh, we need to stop everything. We need to start immediately doing that. But obviously there isn't enough time with work and Maya's uni and stuff like that. So if I read Buffy comics in Braille, would you get a Splinter? I mean, maybe. We don't need Whedon. Every time I see your videos, I think about Wayne's World. That makes sense, to a certain extent. That would make Maya Garth. I'm okay with that. Which is funny, because that's kind of my name. I don't know. I think they could definitely find someone to replace Whedon. One thing I have noticed is the formula for some of the jokes in this season. They've really found, because you watch them. I don't know, when I was younger, I wouldn't notice certain repeating comedic bits. Like, for instance, I think in the episode that just premiered tonight, there's a moment where Buffy tells Joyce, "You don't need to stress out." I'm like, what is it? I can't remember what she says. Something like, "You don't need to stress out," and then hard cut to her going, "I'm stressing out." Ha ha ha. They do that quite a lot. Maya's already spotted it and thought it was quite, that they used that particular joke. I don't hold that he's irreplaceable, but I don't think they've managed to replace him. It's not. Yeah, I think he's such a specific voice that then has been emulated so many times and so diluted by people trying to, anyone who's trying to emulate the way that he writes dialogue and stuff, it always is going to be to a lesser quality rather than speaking with their own particular voices. I think there are people. Tim Minear would be a good one, but I don't know if he's still involved in television. You obviously like it a bit. Incidentally, Maya having to pause that Serenity scene is the best. Aww. I have watched Dollhouse. I actually rewatched Dollhouse very recently, and it's such an interesting concept, and I really liked that they went balls to the wall with it, with taking that concept to the nth degree with how they finished things up in season 2. But Yeah. I'm trying to think what else. I know he's done a show called The Nevers. I haven't seen it, but I think it is something that we'll check out. Every now and then we've done a one-off episode for a show to see whether we would be interested in either checking it out on the channel or continuing on by ourselves. We did Deadwood, Scrubs. I think Nevers is one that we would like to do for that. Is any of those good or better writers actually working in Hollywood? No, I have no idea. Especially like the old guard that were working on the original Josh shows. I have no idea who's still working. Nevers was weird. In what way? In a bad way or an interesting way? Yes, I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to be showing her Alien Resurrection soon. She wasn't a massive fan of Alien 3, and I have a real soft spot for Resurrection, mainly because it kind of reminded me of Firefly just a little bit. Episode 1, 2.6 is great. It's a lot, requires full attention, but it's great. Okay, cool. Yeah. Problem with Nevers is we got set up but no payoff. If you manage to find any of the post-Whedon episodes of the Nevers, don't bother. Oh, really? I think the show from is a good show to watch as well. I don't know. I love May and Gareth. I'm here to be with them. Well, Gareth right now, but definitely not going to speak on wokeness. Alien vs Predator. That'll be straight after Resurrection. Yeah. God. There's so many episodes coming up that I can't wait to watch with Maya. The end of this season particularly, but before that, what's it called? The prom episode? There is a moment in the prom episode. I don't think I've ever watched it without getting proper, like, teary. It's the moment when I'm really worried that Maya's going to end up watching, but I'll demand that she doesn't. When the class give her the Protector Award, I don't know why, that always just makes me go, oh, they know, they appreciate her for what she did. Yep, we're going to watch Predator 2. Maya mentioned that a couple of days back, I think. We were kind of going over stuff that we needed to keep double back on. Terminator, Matrix, and Alien franchise and Predator franchise, all of those. I love Predator 2. The poster for Predator 2 was my brother that's directly older than me. He had a poster of it, and I just remember looking at it and staring at it when I was little and being like, this is sick. Yeah, I mean, she got it. It's a shame, but it's the spirit behind her receiving the award that will last forever. The 2000, I get very teary-eyed with that scene. The music alone is beautiful. Yeah, I can't wait for that. I think that will hit her. If Giles kind of crying at a moment, what episode does Giles kind of gets a little weepy over Buffy for some reason? And no, it was when she comes back after being away in the beginning of season 3. She got a little bit sad there. Alright, bye Roger, have a good night. Say hi to your animals. I find Predator 2 in some ways better than the first. Yeah, it's great. I love that film. I think they're both great. The end scene, Predator 2 has a really long payoff. It does indeed. I'm interested. Anybody interested in the new Predator movie, Badlands? I am. I think it's going to be maybe the same guy who made Prey. And yeah, I think it might. They're combining it with Aliens. Well, at least the Aliens universe. It's my earbuds. Right down. If you watch Prey, the sequel to Predator, watch it with subs in the native language. Oh yeah, I forgot that they did that. I'll probably watch it like that by myself. If I watch it with Maya on the channel, we'd probably not do it with subs because of the way our setup is. We cut off subs. We could change the setup, but we probably won't. Haven't watched Prey after what I heard about it. What did you hear about it? What happened? Why do you not like it? Or haven't seen it? So that new Predator movie is not on my list. Fair enough. I haven't seen it. I didn't like the last Predator movie, Prey. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fine. There were, I mean, it was a lower budget movie, and there were some weaker elements to it, but no, I dug it. I enjoyed it. There was almost that moment in season 6 of Buffy when Giles comes back and sees Buffy alive for the first time again. Yeah. Oh, that's another thing. When she realizes that Buffy was in heaven. Oof. I watched the musical episode not that long ago and found myself singing the song that Spike sings, the "I Dad." I need to stop doing that before we watch the episode. We've got a while to go. The reviews I watched presented it as another needless, superfluous girl boss movie. See, I was worried it was going to be that, and I feel like the whole narrative around movies has my back up. So it takes me a while when I sit down to watch a movie to be like, are you being, like, what message am I being fed and how overt is it? And rather than just fucking relaxing and watching it. But then you relax and watch it and you get fucking duped with somebody being like, chew this message. You're like, I don't like that. So I think I watched it I did watch it a couple of times. And yeah, having done that, I've just kind of eased into it and accepted it for what it is. And I don't feel like it was too... there are moments, but it's more of a character trying to prove herself rather than the whole movie being like, fucking, isn't she great for no reason? What are you saying? You're going to try and convince me that there's a shortage of boy boss movies. Yeah, it's a good point. But I think it's definitely in the delivery, and I don't think Prey shoves it down the throat. At least I didn't after the second time of watching it. I don't know, I mean, look, I get it, but my dad left me alone to deal with myself at roughly the same age, and I was like, need to grow up and do yourself now. I hated it all the time. Yeah. Oh, there's a full-on chat going on about the girl boss and people in movies. Maybe a shortage of well-written movies. There's 100% a shortage of well-written movies. That's one of Maya's biggest takeaways since starting the channel, is that going back and watching Alien, Terminator 2, all the movies that we've watched, she was just like, everything is so concise and has like, the stories aren't these meandering, quick, we need to put this in here because that ticks that box, or that demographic needs to, you need that sort of representation, and this needs to be in there because that's being popular at the moment. So there's all the plots are just fairly straightforward, simple, really tight, well-written, satisfying stories. And it's been, I don't know, the last time I've seen a new movie in this. Do you know what, actually, anybody seen what's it called, Companion? I watched that and that was great. I love that film. That was dope. Trying to think what else. Probably just Companion is the most recent movie I've come out of the cinema and just absolutely loved it. Does anybody know of that film? There's a certain element of, I have to be good at everything, but the interesting element is, yeah, the pressure she put on herself. That's it. Like, because I don't know, all too often it's just good at it because, and everything that she actually struggles with trying to get what she wants done in that movie. And that typical 2020s girl boss thing that so many people have such a distaste for, it comes across from the, like, having not watched it like that, because that's what we're expecting. But then, you know, it's her struggle is proving herself, and she's not great at it at first, and she barely manages to make it through. I like that film. Give it a shot. Put it on a Sunday. Get some snacks and have your phone ready so that you can ignore it if it starts bugging you. TV series and movies are all about social engineering agenda now. Yeah, came across the Sora app, and it's devastating and depressing. The idea that people can just click a button, and so TikTok was the dancing app, and you actually had to dance and do entertaining stuff, even mildly entertaining stuff, and people would go, "Ha, that's mildly entertaining." Now you just have a picture of yourself, attach it to a body that dances, and you go, "Well, I didn't need to do a dance." Like, I've seen out and about filming and stuff, you'll often pass by a group of kids and they will literally be dancing, or they'll have their phone propped up, or they'll be doing some sort of skit, and it's annoying when you're trying to get past them in a train station, but like, at least that's effort. They've learned something, they've collaborated on doing something, and they're also outside doing it, and now they can just click a button and the robots will dance for them. And I'm like, oh dear. But then I think that creativity will become such a commodity for the people that can actually be creative. People will be so sick of the AI drivel that they'll search out people who are actually capable of, like, the fact that you can animate, and they'll make careers on showing how they animated something and the work that went into it. At least I think so. I hope so. Fuck. My work? Oh, my filming work? Thanks. Yeah, I've done a little bit of filming work here and there. You have seen Star Trek parodies, right? My Star Trek parodies? I hope not. My Star Trek parodies are abhorrent. I had them on my computer. I actually could drop them in here, but I don't have them on my computer. I made them on my iPad. Oh. But yeah, I think there's going to be a much stronger thirst for people who actually make stuff, stories written by people. The interest in how film is properly made is going to, I think, grow, and it'll become such a tighter community. At least I hope. I mean, obviously, people who are maybe skirting by on not having particularly much talent might fade away, or they might find themselves elevated in the AI age. But I think we'll see a big growth in rock bands playing instruments, no synthesizers, no plugins or laptops, just kids with instruments going hell for leather, as opposed to watching AI, like, here's my voice, make a song in the style of so-and-so. Fucking shite. It's like everything else, you still need the skills to do anything good with it, otherwise you get, well, that's it. But the fact that people can generate so much garbage, the idea that anything good is going to rise to the top becomes insurmountable. I mean, even now, you can come across, like, channels with like 100 views on, between 7 videos, and they'll be bangers because the people who made them really care about what they were doing, like, research their particular topic, work really hard on the cinematography, and it's great. But all you see, or all we see, are AI generated voices going, "Do you know what happened in Marvel's Avengers?" Yada yada. I hope good writing will have a renaissance as well, because right now it doesn't matter whether something was written by AI or by some talentless hack who was hired for all the fun stuff. Yeah, content curation is centuries behind content production at this point. I really wonder if there's going to be a new platform similar to YouTube, but I was thinking to have a platform of just human-made content. Obviously, the curation on that would have to be insane, because to make sure that no AI was used and that it was just crafted by humans for humans. And so yeah, if there was such a platform or a site, it would just be this heavily curated, and it should be, because it should be people, art, deciding what's good, sharing, and making sure that people are using. Again, I kind of chopping around a bit, but there is use for AI, and it does make certain things easier. And then there are, during the Industrial Revolution, what was it? I listened to something just recently, and they were like, the Industrial Revolution was like saying goodbye to people with muscles, like put people with muscles out of work, and the AI revolution is going to put people who think out of work. The idea that you no longer have to coders. I don't need a coder. I can just ask this AI to write code for me, or the amount of music apps that are like, oh, you want a synth part? Just ask for a synth part. It's ethically trained AI bullshit. There's no such thing. Because it's all built up on each other, and they're all stealing our shit. So, I do still love sausage bangers. No one knows what a banger is anymore. Bangers. I feel like the death of Video Store is synonymous with the death of independent films. Independent films was a wealth of good writing. Immediately when you say that, I think of the movie Primer. Has anybody seen that? I love that film. Primer. The Vast of Night. What else? I've mentioned this before, but there's a really great independent sci-fi movie with Nicholas Brendan Zander in it. That what's that called? It's a sci-fi film, something to do with a comet and alternate realities. It was great. The Uncanny Valley will disappear, and you won't be able to tell in a few years. Yeah, and that's when we're all humped. But there is also the theory that as AI is trained more on AI, that it'll all just turn to crap. In the same way that a copy of a copy copies a copy gets less and less good. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like AI. But maybe I don't like AI in the same way as, manufacturing workers didn't like big machines coming in and making cars for us. One of the few things I think that will definitely human interaction, things that people do together, at least I hope so, God, will become more of a commodity. I think Nebula is a site where people can upload videos that aren't about things they've worked on rather than AI are about things. Oh, that's cool. I'll need to check that out. No, a banger is an army cheap sausage to skin would breach as people overcook them, hence go bang. I like a cheap sausage. Coherence? Is that the movie that I was talking about? Because I watched that with a lady. American science fiction thriller. There are no loops running. It was about a house party. 8 friends come together for. Yeah, that's the one. That's great. I like that film a lot. Thank you very much, because I watched that film with a girl who I was on dates with, and I don't really know her anymore, and I wanted to remember the movie. Yeah, that's a great film. There are loads of really good movies being made. We just had the Edinburgh International Film Festival, and there were loads of movies at that. Like, great stuff that people are making. Yeah. Person facing possible redundancy in their profession definitely despise the onset of AI taking over. Yeah. It sucks. It sucks ass. I recently, without thinking, fed into it. So I was making a video for a client. One of the people in the video misspoke like words from another language, and because I know the tools are available, I was like, oh, 2 seconds, fed it into an AI, made the AI say the words, pronounce the words that he had said, send it all off, send it to the client, and then I showed it to Maya, and Maya was like, it's kind of illegal. And I was like, is it? Checked online, very legal. And I was like, oh god, yeah, you're supposed to ask for retroactively got it, but oh my god, like, it was so easy to just take someone's entire identity, feed it into an algorithm, and have a you turned it into an actual chatbot, and I was having a conversation with it. The only way I could get it to, you couldn't type the words and make it say, this particular one just turned into a chatbot, so I had to like record him through OBS, say the lines that I needed. And then afterwards sent it off and they were all happy and he was super happy, but he was like, that's exactly how I said it originally. Like, that's not how you said it originally because I actually used AI, and by the way, can I have your permission? Anyways, Buffy the Vampire Season 3 is fantastic, and I have adored showing the show to man. Oh, come on. He's clearly gone. Sean Connery plot twist. In a year's time, Gareth will confess that he's actually Tilly Norwood's brother. Who's Tilly Norwood? I'm gonna go look who that is. Tilly Norwood. Tilly Norwood. Oh, I don't know who that is. Oh, right. I'm glad I don't know who that was, or I didn't immediately know who that was. I hate the term AI and search engine. I don't believe there is a true AI yet, but it's too late. Yeah, I don't know. I was reading about AIs that don't like. Hey, Chris. I was reading about AIs that don't like to be turned off and try to actually stop you from turning them off. One particular one blackmailed somebody that worked at the company that the AI was being used for. I'm just looking forward to when they are sentient and we can abuse them. We can say a heinous shit to them and they feel hurt. No, that's terrible. But it's also how I feel. Luke, you say yet like it's inevitable or even likely. It kind of is. It's just the growth is exponential from where we were 5 years ago to where we are now. It's just kind of inevitable. Unless we do something. Smashy smashy. We should smash them all. Oh. The cool thing is we don't have well, not necessarily cool, but we don't have batteries powerful enough to run these things as Terminators. And the ones that can, the human biped ones that can run around are so brittle because they have to be so lightweight. They're easy to smash, difficult to catch, but not impossible. Wayne Campbell's cousin. There's so many random names that get flung at me for the way that my terrible face looks. I'm actually super nice to Alexa to protect yourself from the inevitable. There is something to be said for that. Just kind of hedging your bets, being like, hey sweetie, do you mind adding this to my shopping list? I tried to tell AIs as much as possible that I hate them. And I like when they reply and they're like, well, that's a bit mean. I'm like, it is. AI controlling elevators, commercial passenger aircraft, life support machines, terrifying. It is. That's one of the things as well, like watching Buffy with Maya, her seeing the emerging world of the internet as it started to be, like seeing Willow on her laptop and some of the terminology, and whenever you see anybody hacking in those movies, everybody's just pounding away on their keyboards like crazy. Gareth, sir, have you seen or shown Maya the film Screamers? Nope, I have not. Yeah, I know who Wayne Campbell is. Again, I actually need to show her those movies. Overthinking in progress. It's just over heated bubble. It'll burst eventually. Hopefully, like NFTs. Remember when NFTs were a thing that we should care about? And now it's not? AI will be good for a few things. Like medicine, cool. Finding new materials, groovy. Screamers is a great movie. I'll have to add it to the list. I have a big giant list. I'm just bring it up. Screamers. Just gonna look at when it was actually made, because I got that Screamers movie. Oh, have I seen it? Peter Weller. No, I haven't seen it, but I am aware of it, or at least kind of sort of. So yeah, I'll add it. That's 1995. There's probably a lot of sci-fi films from early 90s that I haven't seen. Dark City, never saw that. AI reminds me of Anya in the first Slayer dream, waving her hands to drive the car. Oh yeah. Yeah, Peter Weller, Robocop. I haven't seen Screamers in a while myself, but I still have it. My brother has maybe every DVD in VHS imaginable, or at least he used to. I'm seeing him at Christmas. It will be interesting to see if he still has it all, but he has just walls and walls and walls of stuff. I'm taking Maya actually up there for Christmas, so that'll be fun. Portrayal of the early internet is never done right. It needs 5 minutes of dial-up tone, 10 minutes of closing down a million pop-ups because you clicked one of those links, and also a part where your parents pick up the phone and crash the internet for you. Dark City is weird. Yeah, I pretty much know nothing about Dark City other than I need to watch it at some point. But yeah. I've probably done, what time is it? I'm gonna have to catch a bus to my house, leave from the studio. You heard that advice before, I'm sure, but if you ever get to watch Dark City, go with the director's cut. Yep, that's a good shout. There are some films that Alien 3, we didn't realise that there was another cut of Alien 3, and probably missed out. But yeah, that's probably gonna be it for me for this evening. I'm having an amazing time showing Buffy to Maya, and I can't believe we're at the midway point of season 3. We will be doing another live at the end of the series, well, the season, this end of season 3, where we will actually do a quiz. We'll just have a lot more questions to ask Maya, and if you have access to our Discord, you can drop questions in there in the Buffy section, and any comments and stuff that you want added for future episodes. Thank you very much for joining me. I'll tell Maya that you said hi and wish her well. She hasn't responded to me. I assume she's alive, or has she responded to me? No, she has not. But she hasn't been online in a couple of hours. Hopefully she's sleeping, resting well. And what's up next? Sleepy Hollow. When will that be out? Probably Tuesday next week. Yes. Because we had Indiana Jones occasionally you get copyright claims on videos. Everything we're doing falls under fair use. It's perfectly legal, but companies like to steal money, and they're not super keen on the law, so we occasionally get flags because maybe too much of a famous piece of music is being used. It's kind of different for that, but normally YouTube gives you little sections and it goes, you can cut these out and it'll all be good. However, with Indiana Jones, they claimed the whole thing, which was interesting. But it's the first time that we've had that happen 3 times before, but this is the first time we've ever fought against it and disputed it. So when you dispute it, they let the video go live, and then if Lucasfilm are like, nah, Disney want it, they'll claim it, and then we'll get a copyright strike. I hope it's still live at the moment, so 7 days time we'll see. Lastly, before I go, just play her. What was this? I would assume she's live. Yeah. You should do a live at the end of season 5, since that is when it was supposed to end. We will do a live then. We're trying to make sure we do a live at the end of every season. In fairness, much of the audience it's a question of who they want to appeal to. Okay, I think that's continuing from earlier stuff. Have a good one. Thanks for your effort, always putting. Oh, thanks, man. Sweeney Todd. So, we watched Sleepy Hollow. I don't know if we're including it in the react, but Maya was just like, "Oh, isn't there another film that they did together called what was it called? He's like a barber." I was like, "Sweeney Todd," and she's like, "Oh yeah, that looks really fun." And I was like, "Yeah, it's a musical," and then Maya was like, "Musical," which I didn't realize she hated musicals. There's only like two musicals that I've loved: the Buffy musical and South Park. Bigger, longer, and uncut. Beautiful film, but doesn't try, as it's a basic musical. Yeah. I think I may have fallen asleep in the cinema while watching that. Oh, and I think there's a really repetitive song. Maybe it would be interesting to watch, to at least, if Maya doesn't like musicals, it'd be a way of torturing her. Ninth Gate, yeah, definitely. Alright, goodbye. Thank you for tuning in, and we look forward to seeing you in, if not in the Buffy premiere, then